Hey guys, Hassan here from V1Tech. Today I'm going to be showing you a product we've been working really hard on for the past couple years. It's our GPU support bracket. The GPU support bracket was designed to work with virtually any graphics card in any computer case. It's super easy to install and it's going to look better than anything that's on the market by quite a bit, and we'll show you why. The way this product is made is we actually laser cut these individually here in Dallas, Texas, USA from 3/16 cast acrylic material. Then we machine the bottom piece for our custom side emitting LED strips. What this allows is for the LED strip to sit flush inside the casing of the support bracket without protruding out the back at all, as well as allow it to be the thinnest product possible with also being the brightest product possible. So the LEDs actually shine through the material, grabbing onto the sandblasted acrylic with the LED reactive dye sublimation. This is not a vinyl, it's printed directly onto the material. And we use a polymer that allows each different color, like cyan, magenta, and yellow, to have a UV reaction to the RGB lights that gives it kind of a three-dimensional characteristic that's unlike anything you've ever seen before on any product with ARGB backlighting. So our old style, we actually started out doing dual layered acrylic, and we found that this middle screw right here would crack because of the structure point between these two areas. So we removed that screw. Now that we use a single piece of material that's machined, we can then eliminate this top screw and just make it those two bottom screws. So it's a lot more easy to install and looks a lot more cleaner in the finished build. The other thing is we did these bump stops that are cut into the bracket, all these little squares. So you can put the bump stop anywhere on this side or this side of the bracket. The only problem with this is although it was screwless and that was what was innovative about it, it didn't really work that great in practice because it could be a little bit of a loose fit depending on some slight tolerance issues. And it required us to include a whole bunch of different varying sizes with a lot less customizability for how much variation you can have between where it sits in your build and on the graphics card for support. The new style, however, it's a lot cleaner. There's a lot more real estate for the actual design itself, having way less cutouts. And we can actually put different size bump stops that have a lot more freedom in how high up or low it needs to be. And you can also mount this on both sides. So optional on all our RGB products, you can add a RF remote control with SATA powered controller. This would just plug into any standard power supply, no matter what computer you have. And you can use this remote to control it. You got a lot of cool features like full RGB mode. You can do white, red, green, and blue. There's over 200 different modes and colors that you can choose between just with the remote alone. However, if you do want to software control it, of course, you can use the 5-volt motherboard cable included to adapt to any one of those headers. In this kit, you do get the Corsair iQ. This right here will connect to an LED header on your Commander Pro or Node Pro unit, and it will just adapt the current header from the 5-volt to that. And then on older or select Gigabyte Fusion motherboards, you can use this adapter to then plug it into the 3-pin VDG header for Gigabyte Fusion. We do have the 4-way splitter as well in case you want to plug in multiple things into a VDG cable, or even multiple products can be connected to the single power source for the controller and the remote using the SATA power header. You can also use that 4-way splitter to connect other third-party devices like EK water blocks, Razer LED strips to then sync with our products, so everything is in unison and you get these really cool dynamic products for a full themed setup that's unlike anything you've seen before. So the only thing you're going to need for installation is a screwdriver. I'm going to show you what's included. You get 4 extended 9mm button head thumb screws. These are going to allow it to replace the default PCIe slot screws and hold the bump stop screws onto your bracket. Now for video purposes, we already have it plugged in, lit up. The computer is on. However, I would recommend in your own personal build, you have the computer completely turned off. You have the PCI Express cables unplugged. That way it's easier to do. So we can get that. And I'm gonna mount this outside the case, just like so. We're gonna put the bump stop at the front. This is the tapped mounting plate that goes on the back side. So we're just gonna have it and hold it like this. It's way easier to do this outside the case again because you can get your hand around it and it's super easy to hold. So just 2 or 3 turns, real simple and easy like that. then we're gonna get the other one lined up. And now we could move it across this bump stop, up and down. And now we're gonna mount it. So we're gonna use our magnetic screwdriver, which helps hold the screw real easy. And we're not gonna screw that in too tight, just enough to hold it. This is acrylic material, so if you go super, super tight, it can crack. When it hits, just maybe a quarter turn more and you're good to go. Okay, it won't go any further. And we're gonna add the bump stop. We're gonna find a place on the cooler where we can put pressure up against and it's not gonna interfere with the fan or anything. The closer to the center, the better, because that's gonna give it the most pressure versus the end of the card. You're actually gonna have to use a lot more pressure. Okay, so as you can see here on this graphics card, it goes past the PCI slots right here. So because this is a wider graphics card, we're gonna have the bump stop here at the front. However, if your card is a thinner graphics card, where it ends right up there, we'll look at this card right here, for example. This is a 3070 Founders Edition. You can see it's a lot thinner, it ends right at the PCI Express slots. So the bump stop is actually gonna be on the back side. And the way you're gonna wanna do that is just out here. You can see that I've just mounted the screws through the bump stop piece like I would on the front into the mounting plate on the front side. So now we have full adjustment on the back side of the bracket as well for cards that are not as wide. Another thing we sell is these customized anodized thumb screws that will also work with our support bracket in case you want to trick out the PCI screws that come stock with your case. Every sale at V1Tech.com does support an artist where they will get a commission for their design when you order it. We work with very talented artists like Tankuss, Seerlight, Donnie Art, Beachx Ghost, Goglyser. We work with Market and even guys like DDJVIGO or Dennis Ibiza. There's so many artists on our website, you can check them all out. Or if you really want to, you can also upload and create your own design using our custom design configurator. And I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that. So on our website, you'll wanna go to the support brackets to get yours. You can filter by theme or by artist. You can search by most popular or the latest added, or you can go here to the custom design RGB GP support bracket to create your own. You can upload your own design images right here. You could add text. There's even layers to change the base color. I'm gonna go in here and create a really cool space design. I really like this two suns one right here. And I'm gonna add my gamer tag to it. Now I love the ROG font, but you can go up here and change it to whatever you'd like. I'm gonna change the color of it to white. That way it will really pop with the LED lighting. For the options, we're gonna go down here and select Make Entire Design Addressable RGB Backlit. This is gonna make sure the entire plate is fully lit up. Here you can select the 4-way splitter or to add the ARGB remote, Corsair IQ cable and Gigabyte Fusion cable. And then you can add to cart, proceed to checkout, pay for it, and we'll ship it in a few days. So as an award-winning pro modder, I wanted to create the best for the best, and that's why you'll see our mod products featured on videos of Linus Tech Tips, Gamers Nexus, Bitwit, and a lot of pro modders even like Designed by IFR. You can check out reviews on the product pages, on Facebook, and even by searching hashtag V1Tech on Instagram, TikTok, you'll see hundreds and thousands of video reviews and images of people using our mod products to take their build to the next level. So we hope we can do the same for you, and please do share it with us because we love seeing them every time.